So as you know, we make awesome resources, programs, and materials for behavior professionals. But what about the people who work with our learners every day? RBTs, paraprofessionals, instructional aides, therapists. Well, we're introducing a brand new training course. I'm really excited about it. It's called the BX Blueprint or the Behavior Blueprint, and it's created specifically for these roles of RBTs, ABA therapists, paraprofessionals.
Hi, I'm Shira.
And I'm Shayna.
We're behavior analysts that create weekly content about how to teach kids with autism so that they make real progress. And we create shareable resources to make your job just a little easier. Today's topic is all about our brand new training course, which we are so excited about. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on new video releases.
From personal experience, there's never enough time in the day to onboard and train new staff. I wish there was, because it's my favorite part of the job. But there can be a lot of turnover, and there's so many other things to do during the day. We also get a lot of requests from our community about more resources for the direct teaching staff. When we think about this topic of onboarding, starting a new job or having somebody start at your company, it's overwhelming. As the new staff member starting, you may feel overwhelmed about a new organization. What do you do in this role? Maybe it's the first time you've ever been in as an ABA professional before. You don't know where to start. And as a manager, you definitely feel overwhelmed. Trust me, I've been there. And unless you're hired as a dedicated staff trainer, staff training is something that I find I've had to just fit in while I do the rest of my job. It's like it just goes on the side, and it sometimes just falls to the wayside. And that sucks, because staff are like your biggest resource, and we need to put that time and training into them. When I trained new staff, I always ended up saying the same thing over and over again to every new staff person who started. And I always promised that I would record myself or come up with some kind of process. But then I got so busy. I got busy with other things, and I never got around to it. I was very much about being reactive, right? I'd always put out the fires. I was never proactive about this. So I'm being proactive. Shira and I are being proactive now. And we are putting together an onboarding experience for RBTs, paraprofessionals. It's not just onboarding. It's also if you've been an ABA professional for a while, but want to learn more and get more in depth about what is ABA, but not just what is ABA, how to do this, and what do all these terms mean, and how can we do them effectively to really make progress with our learners. We also want to make sure that we make the staff feel confident and competent without spending all of our time training. So that's why we put together this new product. I'm so excited about the behavior. What are we calling it? The Behavior Blueprint, the BX Blueprint, to go along with our BX resource.
Right. And as we're creating these resources for behavior analysts and BCBAs, and we can have the best programs and the best data collection method and the best behavior plan. But anything that we implement is only going to be as good as, the person who's implementing it. And those people have to feel supported and have to feel like they have the skills to follow the plans that we're giving them, and to know where to go to ask questions, and to have at least enough background to understand what reinforcement is, and how to provide an effective prompt, and how to shape, and how to model, and all of these things that we often refer to and kind of take for granted that we can just assume people know. A lot of staff don't have that skill, and they're looking to learn. They really want to see progress in their learners and progress in their clients, and they want to make the most out of the time and the sessions that they have with them. But sometimes they just don't have the support or the knowledge to be able to know what to do when and how to use all these strategies. And that's really why we came up with this product, was to be able to ease the load of the BCBAs who might not have enough time to train the staff and to onboard and to go through all the basics, but more than the basics with each staff, but also to be there to support the staff. To say, if they were given an instruction to fade prompting, but they don't really know what that means, let's have a video on it. They can refer to it. They can look up what prompting is, how to fade that. If they're given a program to, teach introverbals, but they're not quite sure what an introverbal is, and no one's available to answer their question right away, that's what we're here for.
Oftentimes when I'm, watching programming and watching staff, the staff may or may not be really skilled in ABA. And, it can either be, I always ask myself, is it a training thing or is it an ability thing? And they tend to go hand in hand. Usually, if it's an ability thing or a lack of ability, it's because they haven't been trained. And that's where these video series come in, is that, like Shira said, if they don't know, how to do a transfer trial or how to teach requesting, they can look that up and we can have a video on that and show them that and say, hey, this is how you do that. So some of the topics that we're covering are things like, some of the basics of ABA that they need to know, but a bit more in depth, like motivation and reinforcement and factors that really affect reinforcement, and what to do if your child's not learning and how to create motivation and capture that motivation. Also, things like how to run an ABA session, how to set it up, what's pairing, how to do pairing, some basics on data collection, and then some basics on teaching techniques as well.
And a lot of people come to us with different backgrounds and different experiences with training. Some people have done, some kind of 40 hours of the RBT requirement. Some people have different training in different centers. And we find that there's a lot of theory out there, but it doesn't always cover the things that they need to know for practice, especially some of the, online, if you've just done it online with, 40 hours of online training, a lot of it covers great theory, but it may not cover, what to do if your child is not responding to your prompt right here, in this moment. And so we really wanted the topics to cover things that are very practical and things that you can implement as an RBT, as a paraprofessional in your sessions immediately.
I've met a few people who have actually recognized me and say, hey, you're Shayna from How to ABA. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Without your videos on YouTube, I would never have gotten through my grad class. Or, oh, without, your videos, my new job would have been really tough. And that's what we're here for. And that's why we started this BX blueprint, is so that we can offer that to people so that they can, ease that overwhelm and have them feel a little bit more supported and have them feel confident with what they're doing.
So I also find that like the things that we, talk about, both in our practice and in How to ABA, kind of, sounds repetitive. Like we have certain messages that we want to get out or certain training things. And so we said, well, instead of just, repeating it every time, let's put it into one source, one resource that anyone who wants this information can access. So we really put like a bunch of all of our best information kind of in one place. And we take you through the process of learning all the way from what is ABA through prompting, motivation, reinforcement, behavior management, and all of those different topics. And it's going to be really easy for you to do at your own pace, on your own time. You can review any of the videos if you want to watch them again. And it has a lot of practical examples of how you can use these skills in your sessions tomorrow. We also do have the option for questions. Like if anyone has any questions, there is that within the course.
So who can benefit from this behavior blueprint? That's a question that we get. So RBTs, people who've already taken that 40-hour course and are now RBTs, but now it's about putting that theory into practice and how to do this thing called ABA in a practical way. Paraprofessionals, people working within the schools, other people working within schools like instructional aides, teachers, behavior therapists who aren't RBTs can take this course. Sometimes psychologists or counselors will take this, special education teachers, I think I mentioned that already, and anyone else who's interested in behavior therapy techniques, this would be a great course for them.
And also anyone who's like really committed, like you really want to see progress. You're here, you're in this field because you care about the learners that you work with. You just might not have all the tools right now to know what to do. And so that's really what we're here for. It's so that you can learn those tools and we can help take your skill level to the next place. And if you're a BCBA, you want your therapists or your RBTs and ABA professionals to be trained so that everybody's getting the same message and everybody's understanding the same thing about shaping and prompting and reinforcement, so that then as a BCBA, you can refer them to different topics. So if one of your ABA therapists is struggling with understanding that concept of motivation, you can easily just send them to watch those few videos and then come back and let's discuss it. So it doesn't have to be a standalone training series, but it could be used in conjunction with whatever training you're doing at your clinic or center.
So each course consists of multiple video trainings. Like Cher mentioned, you can do them at your own pace, come back and talk about them. There's also very useful downloads and other materials there too that will allow you to implement those strategies discussed in the training video. So take your time, discuss it with your supervisor, and really use this the way you want to use this.
We're really passionate about the clients and the learners and the individuals that we work with, really getting the best quality of intervention and ABA service that we can offer them. And that's why it's become so important for us to offer the support both to the BCBAs and ABA professionals that we support through our membership, but also now to the direct staff and the paraprofessionals, because they're going to make the biggest difference in the quality of ABA intervention or behavior intervention and skill acquisition that our learners are receiving. So it's super important for us to be able to provide that quality of training to the direct staff.
I am so excited about this because, like Shira said, it's just something that's so practical and so well needed. And the other reason I'm really excited about this is because I've been working on this for so long, and I honestly just can't wait to get it off my plate and say, yes, it's finished, finally.
And we also know what a difference it's going to make. And so we are super excited. Go check out our BX blueprint when it becomes available, or any other of our videos on training staff.
For more information on our new training course, click the link in and around this video or in the description to check it out. We also encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future videos, or leave a like and comment below if you have further questions.